All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of My Gateway Experience. This is episode 17, and I am on the fourth day of the release and recharge tape. The purpose of these videos is to document my journey through the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience. There are a total of 6 waves and I am on the first wave. And out of those, there's 6 videos on each wave. So out of those videos on the first wave, I believe that the release and recharge tape is the fourth one. Let me just double check that real quick. It is number 4. So after that, I just have 2 more left for this wave, and then I'll be going on to the second one, which is called Threshold. This wave is called Discovery. So it's all about discovering our true nature, and I'm going to get into that right now. So if you haven't seen any of my other videos, do go ahead and check those out. That way you can get caught up to speed with what is going on and what it is that I will be talking about today. So let's get right into it. Right now it's September 10th, 2022. It's 9:57 a.m. I had a little bit of a slower morning today. I woke up at 7 uh, and or was it 8? I feel like it was 7. Anyway, something like that. I just spent a lot more time with my kids and my wife today. So that's why I'm a little bit not sure. But I went to sleep at 11 last night, and actually it was more like 11:30, just because I was out late, and I like to spend time with my wife and my daughter because my son goes to sleep. Even though he's older, she has a little bit of a more erratic sleep schedule, so she takes like 2 naps in the day. He doesn't take any naps, so obviously he goes to sleep earlier. She's kind of up and maybe wanting to hang out with me more than he is, but actually he likes to hang out with me too, but he's so tired at that point that he just goes to sleep. Anyway, I did go ahead and practice my experience today for the fourth day. I did it last night as well. And as I'm progressing along, there are a few discoveries that I'm making. I would say what we are discovering is the affirmation, which I'll go ahead and state right now. It is that I am more than my physical body. And because I am more than physical matter, I deeply desire to expand, to experience, to know, to understand, to control, to use such greater energies and energy systems as may be beneficial and constructive to me and to those near and close to me. Also, I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance, the understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, development, and experience are equal or greater than my own. I messed up. It's not higher energies, it's greater energies, and we got to make sure that it's beneficial and constructive as well. I believe that that is spot on. I want to make sure it's 100%. So I'm just looking at it. Yeah, near and close to me. So yeah, that's the whole affirmation. And so the way we state that, we stated that from the very beginning. And understanding that, we start to become more aware of our minds through focus 1 and focus 3. Then we start to become more aware of our bodies as well through the focus 10. Then after the focus 10, we start to become aware of our spirit through the rebound, the resonant energy balloon. And so I practice all those things, and then the purpose of this specific tape is to take those energies and memories that we have from the past, that we have maybe a negative, mostly fear, emotion associated with them. We want to transmute those or convert them using our energy conversion box and those things that we put in there of our anxieties or worries or concerns. We want to turn them into clean non-associated with emotion even at all. Obviously, if they were fearful things, we don't really want to associate it with those. We want to just be clean and just perceive the memory as it is. And we want to do that because it helps us going forward. Like my mind just feels so much more clean and clear just by doing this for 4 days. And it's pretty amazing. I feel like I am gaining a greater insight into myself and also our experience, not just my own experience, but others. The reason why people do certain things and the reason why they behave, it's all related to those experiences and how they become seeds that take fruition in their psychological, emotional system, and they go and act them out. And I have been there as well. So today I want to talk about the just another kind of generic. Yesterday I talked about these things that I'm not the only one that goes through them. I'm sure because I've heard them and I've talked to other people that have as well. So I want to talk about one of the very common ones, which is the fear of what people are thinking about me. That's one of the ones that I practice today. And there's just so many different ways. I'll try right now to give you an example, just the earliest one that I can remember, because coming from Dominican Republic, when I moved here, I was about 10 years old. And I remember coming here and getting into class and being worried, very worried, pretty much all the time, which worry is very closely related to fear. It's because I was afraid of what people were thinking. I didn't speak the language. I wasn't familiar with the culture. I didn't know. I was uncertain about what to expect. Whereas where I came from, I had already gone through that, and I was among my peers who were very early on, just like me, and they were kids like me. Whereas here I came and I was in fifth grade. And when I was in fifth grade, people were older. They were all 10, and I knew that there was uncertainty. I hadn't grown up with a lot of kids, so it was odd. It was weird for me. And so I remember that. I remember we had these portables, is where our classroom was over there at Nelson Elementary. And I remember kind of not talking, not saying much, not sharing myself with others. Whereas in Dominican Republic, I would all the time. I would really share who I was and what I was thinking pretty much all the time. Here, I didn't know how people were going to react, so I became more of an introvert. I started reading a lot more books, just going into my own world and doing my own thing, and playing video games at home and stuff like that. Just looking to connect with people on an equal playing field. I felt like I was at a disadvantage, which brings me to the second part, which is the emotion underneath the fear. I was uncertain. I didn't know if I was going to be good enough. I didn't. That's what it came down to. And I think a lot of people, that's what it comes down to. Is like, hey, am I good enough? Is it enough? Is this up to standard? Am I doing it the right way? What's going on here? If I share what I'm thinking, that's going to reveal where I'm at. And if I reveal where I'm at and it's not good enough, what's going to happen? Are people going to judge me? Is it going to be worse? Or whatever? You know? Are they going to punish me for that? Who knows? And so obviously, I had to let all those things go. And I have grown up. I've shared this story with other people too. But really practicing it here, it's mostly important for me to really share it with myself as well. To really understand, like, hey, that's how it affected me. And this is what I want to replace it with. I'm going to allow it first to bubble away, the fear, and then the emotion of not being good enough. Allow it to bubble away because it's fair. I am here. I am more than enough. We are more than our physical bodies. We are more than just our experiences. We are more than enough. And then we replace that basically, with just the knowledge of where we come from, even before we came to this plane of existence. So, yeah, I think that's, the fourth day here, and this is what I am encountering. Moving forward, I'm looking forward to finding out what happens. What other memories do I have? I feel like that's one that comes up quite a bit, not only in that setting of like, oh, what are other people thinking, but also, just in interacting with other humans and expressing myself and putting things out there. It comes up quite a bit. Is it going to be enough? What I'm doing, every action that I take on a daily basis. Not anymore, but yeah, I can see how that comes up quite a bit. So it's important to remind ourselves that we are in a growth mindset and we are committed to constantly learning and growing. So even if it's not enough, that's okay. That's okay because we can make it better. We can always make it better and we can always add, we can always learn, we can always grow. So I think that pretty much does it. If you find yourself in a situation where you are uncertain about what to do next or uncertain about anything, really, I highly suggest you check these tapes out. You can go on YouTube, find them for free. There's plenty of other ways. I'm sure you can find them as well if you really wanted to. I think it's powerful because meditation by itself can be great and just sitting there, but it can also be dangerous because of the emotions that can take over. We can find ourselves acting out and not understanding the consequences that come from acting out in not such an ideal way. We want to be conscious of that, beginning with the end in mind. And this is the best way to do it, I feel, when you are at peace and you are clear and not emotionally diluted. So I highly suggest it. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them down below. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. Peace.